We're now joined by our media colleague, Tom Hughes, who's CEO, publisher, ROI-NJ. We'll put up the website so people can find out more about ROI-NJ. Good to see you, Tom.
Hey, good to see you, Steve. Thanks so much. And thanks to Mary, too, and the Lessons in Leadership crew for having me today.
Yeah, Mary Gamba, my colleague. We're also going to be airing this with our sister series, One-on-One. And here's what I want to talk about. First, describe what ROI is, and then I'm going to ask you about media leadership in 2024, please.
Yes, sure. So ROI is an acronym for Return on Information New Jersey, right? So quite simply, we're a media company that informs and connects businesses in New Jersey through digital and print platforms, as well as live and virtual events. 7 years here, we hit the ground running, and we're enjoying covering the Garden State business.
Along those lines, Tom, in all seriousness about media leadership, I'm obsessed by what leadership really is, what it's not, how to get better at it, the mistakes we make as leaders. But media leadership in 2024, how much of it is about constantly trying to find ways to be relevant to your audience outside of what you may have thought? I don't want to answer my own question, even 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, so leadership and innovation pretty much, right? Well, look, you know what? It's always the responsibility of leadership to champion innovative systems, platforms, technologies, right? To stay ahead of the competition, beat the competition, or just in line with the competition, and also better the quality of the final product for its readers, right? So I do this by recognizing applications of new technology simply. You know, what systems do we have? How can we improve them? And then working through how those changes might play out in both implementation and the aftermath. So at the end of the day, we sort of look at and say, okay, we have our internal customers, right? How has what we've done impacted our internal customers, our staff members, right? Are those changes better, different? How has that worked? And then we also look at our external users, readers, advertisers, and the impact it has had on our audience. Are the advertisers enjoying the new ad space, right? That's on the new website. Are our readers more engaging? Are they spending more time on pages? So, I mean, the innovation is always ongoing, but for us, we try to be very systematic on how we're doing that.
Along those lines, Tom, in terms of information that people consume, and people consume information in so many different ways. Our colleague Neil Shapiro, the president and CEO of the WNET, the 13 group, WNET group, we talk about this all the time, that people are consuming information in a bifurcated fashion. I mean, it's all over the place. That being said, is print, from your point of view, is print dead?
You know, it's interesting that you say that, right? Because we are print and digital
That's why I'm asking.
newsletters, right? So we still have a robust print distribution. We are seeing that we have a growing audience on the digital end, but the combination seems to work well for us. It is would I say that it's challenged? Yes, because the way that our audience is receiving the news is different too. They're looking more online, right?
And the audience is changing. Is it getting younger, and is younger equal more digital?
Well, it's interesting, right? So you bring up a very, very valid point, right? The younger audience is a more digital audience, right? And we're skewing. So our audience rested in the 45 to 58-year-old category. The last 2 years, we have taken a different approach with our digital platform, and we're pulling in a 35-year-old audience. So within about 18 months or post-COVID, we've made some changes. So our audience is our next generation that we actively go after. And yes, actually, there's been some changes, a younger demographic coming in.
Curious about this. We have a series that the graphic will come up right now. It's called Democracy in Danger. And it's looking at, it's not even political, to be really candid with you, Tom. And we talked with your colleague, Tom Bergeron, about this as well.
Yeah, and I've got to tell you, everybody wants to talk to the guys on the editorial side. Nobody wants to talk to the business guys, right? And that's what it is.
Hey, ready for this, Tom? Some of us are on the editorial side and on the business
I
side.
know, I see that. So you're that sought after hybrid.
Yeah, well, the hybrid isn't so neat and clean because I got to tell you, the separation of church and state,
Yeah,
the editorial and the business, sometimes it's like, how do we keep the underwriter sponsors who think sometimes,
a-
hey, no, content's not yours. Your
right,
branding
right.
is
No,
up, content not yours. But do you just,
absolutely.
it's interesting because I was going to go one place. You brought up something way more interesting than that.
Yeah.
How do you separate, when I say church and state, it's a longstanding way of describing the difference between the business side of a media organization, advertising, et cetera, sponsorship, and the editorial, which is pristine and purely journalistic. Is there a cement wall, in your view, Tom, between church and state?
Well, it's interesting. In my view, there is, but I do see that wall blurring. So we always said, everybody wants to talk to the editorial folks, right? No one wants to talk to the business folks because the editorial folks are receiving information, and that information is going to be put on a digital page or a print page. What I'm doing on the business side and my team, we're looking to put our hand in somebody's pocket to get the sponsorship so we can continue doing the
No,
editorial piece,
no
right?
money, no money, no mission.
Exactly. There you go. So I do see some of the blurring because we have our sponsors who want sponsored content, right? So we label that as sponsored content.
And by the way, P.S. full disclosure, if you go on, we are sponsored content at ROI. It
Yeah,
says sponsored content. And,
right.
and explain to folks why that's different than straight editorial content.
Well, because sure, editorial content is achieved through a editor's story from a contributing partner. Sponsored content is written, could be in conjunction with the sponsor, the individual, and it is not free form, free flowing from the editorial side. So we like to create that separation from regular edit to sponsored content, or we call it to partner content as well.
But think about what Tom's saying. Our biggest and most significant partners are in public broadcasting. Our largest audience by far is in public broadcasting. Again, to our friends at WNET, NJ, PBS, and to the South, WHYY, to a lesser extent, but we're still there as well. But here's why I'm mentioning this. There are folks who may not find us on public broadcasting, but may be consumers of ROI who see us there. And that's why my point here is a long-winded way of getting to, we don't have the luxury of saying only this platform, only that platform. We have to be on multiple platforms to have the most number of people consuming what we do. Please, Tom.
Yes, sure. So, and that brings up a good point because we say ROI is New Jersey's business source, right? Well, the reality of it is, yes, it's New Jersey, but we are in every state and several countries in the world now because our platform is, yes,
Digital.
it's print, right? But it's digital. So when you look at the statistics on that and the analytics, it's just amazes me where and who we're reaching and where they are.
Complex stuff and media leadership, media in 2024. And again, the next time we'll actually talk to your colleague, Tom Bergeron, on the editorial side about our
Yeah.
series, Democracy in Danger. And I want to thank our longtime media partner, Tom Hughes, CEO and publisher of ROI-NJ. Their website has been up. Find out more about them. Tom, all the best. Take care, my
Thank you.
friend.
Thanks, guys.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 30 years in public broadcasting. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the Russell Berry Foundation, Valley Bank, Veolia, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Northward Center, and by Kane University. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ.
NJM Insurance Group has been serving New Jersey businesses for over a century. As part of the Garden State, we help companies keep their vehicles on the road, employees on the job, and projects on track. Working to protect employees from illness and injury, to keep goods and services moving across the state. We're proud to be part of New Jersey. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.